Hello guys, welcome to my channel Android Mastermind. So this video is a part 2 of our Firebase series. So in this video we can see how to retrieve a data from Firebase. So basically in this application I will enter a username, and whatever the detail of the username is exists, their first name, last name and their address that are visible on the screen. So let's see what we see can at the end of our video. So let's see what we see can at the end of our video. So this was our application in which I have to retrieve a user. So in my previous video we will enter our two data in Firebase Realtime, which is Android Mastermind. So let's enter its first name, which is Android, and when I click on button retrieve, so you can see that all the data regarding to this we will get it. For example, first name Android, last name Mastermind, address New York, and what is their pin, and after that the edit text box is also clear. So this was we can see at our end of our video. Okay, now let's move to our coding part. Okay, so in this coding part, first from the previous activity, in main activity I will adding one more button to go from this activity to next activity to see how to retrieve a data in that activity. So let's create one more button, that is button width is match parent, height is wrap content, text is retrieve and text is retrieve, id is retrieve, and its margin should be 9 dp. Okay, now let's create the retrieve activity. So new, and in new activity, and in activity that is empty views activity, so let's name is retrieve activity, retrieve activity, and then finish. So the Gradle build is building. Before the Gradle build is building, so please subscribe my channel. So before that, let's call this activity button to variable in main activity. So private latent where I will giving its name to start, and it is button, and let's do finding its id. Start is equal to find view by id r dot id dot retrieve. Okay, so whenever the button is clicking on, whenever the user can clicking on button start, so let's create set on click listener view dot on click listener, and in this let's create a start activity in this intent, and in this intent go from this to retrieve activity class dot java. Okay, so this is done, and let's close this activity and going on retrieve activity to how to fetch our data from Firebase. So here let's change to it constant layout to linear layout. Its orientation should be vertical, and here I will creating a one edit text. Width is match parent, height is wrap content, its background should be rectangle, and its id should be username, margin 9 dp, margin 9 dp, text size 20 dp, and its hint should be enter user name, and its padding should be 9 dp. Yeah, now it is looking good. And after that I will adding one button. So let's add button, and its width should be match parent, height should be wrap content, text should be text should be retrieve, text should be retrieved, and its id should be submit, id should be submit, and its margin should be 9 dp. Yeah, so button part is also done. So now we will adding our 4 text view, in which the first name, last name, address and the pin code should be, we will sing on it. Okay, so let's create our text view. So text view height is wrap content, and the width is also wrap content, and its text should be first name, text should be first name, text size should be 25 dp, and text style should be bold, text style should be bold, and the text color should black, and its margin should be 9 dp, and I will giving its id to first, and its id should be first. Okay, so the first text view is created. Now I am copying it and pasting for it 3 more times. So let's copy this text view, sorry, Ctrl+Z, and copying this text view, Ctrl+C, and pasting it for more 4 times, 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, so now changing its id. So first and the second one should be last, 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 and I will changing its text also, which is last name. And now last one, third one is address, so I will entering its add, and here I will entering its address, ADDRES, address. Okay, and the last one is code, and its id should be also code, and its text should change to a code. Okay, so now I will moving to the main activity parts. Here I will calling all the variable, and after that finding viewer by id, we will see how we will retrieve our data. So let's find the variable private latent var. First is username, it is edit text, and the second one is private latent var btn, which is button, and the third one is private latent var first, which is text view, and the next one is private latent var last, which also a text view, and next one is private latent var address, which is also a text view, and the last one is private latent var code, which is also text view. Here I will calling database. So let's private latent var database, which is database reference. Yeah, this one. So after that I will calling its id. So username is equal to find view by id, and its id r.id username, and the second one is btn is equal to find view by id, and its id should be submit. Yeah, this one. And the third one is first, so is equal to find view by id r dot id dot first, and the next is last is equal to find view by id r dot id dot last. Yeah, this one. And the next one is add is equal to find view by id, which is r dot id dot add. Yeah, and the last one is code, so code is equal to find view by id and r dot id dot code. Yeah, this one. So here I will called all the id. This was showing an error. When we will run our app, this error should be automatically solved. So after that I will calling a set on click listener. So let's create btn dot set on click listener, and its view dot on click listener. So basically in this we will see how we'll retrieve our database. So first we will taking whatever the username from edit text is getting. So user n is equal to username dot text dot to string. Okay, and after that I will calling database dot child. In this child, whatever the data is enter in edit text, we will fetching that data. So here I will passing user n in child, and then get and add on success listener. So here when our activity is success, and when our activity is failed, so here add on failure listener. So let's do toast dot make text this, and here I will writing error, and the third argument is toast dot length long, and then show. Okay, so this was an add on failure listener. So when our activity is done, one mistake I done here. So before calling their child, I was to take the Firebase database from the user. So here in Firebase you can see our data is stored on user. So first we have to go on user, and then our users data will fetch. So in this first database is equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference, and here I will passing the name of main node, which is users. Okay, so when our data is successfully so here I will getting that. So if it dot is exist, and if it's exist, so here I will setting their text view. So first n is equal to it dot child. So whatever the name I will give on database reference, so same string name I have to pass here. So write the name should be carefully. If the letter in lowercase, type lowercase, and if the letter is uppercase, so please type in uppercase. So here my all the letters are in lowercase. So let's go to here and get the value of. So first is name, and after that dot value. Same to last name also. Last n is equal to it dot child. Here I will pass last, and then dot value. And the third one is add is equal to it dot child. Here add, and after that dot value. And last one is ports is equal to it dot child. which is code and dot value. If I will get all the value, then I am clearing the username. So let's create the let's clear that username which user can enter. So user name dot text dot clear. Okay, so this data I get. So here I have to put in my text view. So here first I will passing a message of toast that our data is successfully get. So toast dot make text, and here this, and in this success, and after that toast dot length long, and then here is show. Yeah, one mistake is there. So here is here is comma. Okay, yeah. So let's add this value to a text view. So here I will adding the text view, which is first dot text is equal to, which is our first name plus, and here what is, so first and dot to string, and same for last name. So here last dot text is equal to last name plus here last m dot to string, and the third one is address. So here add dot text is equal to our address should be here. So here address dot to string, and the last one is code. So which code dot text is equal to here code code plus codes dot to string. All the data should be get successfully. So let's run this application on my local device and see what we can get in this application. So here you can see my local device is connected on Android. So here I will do done some mistake. So let's change its last to last name, and it's added to address, and it's code to pin code. Okay, and now I am again running this application. So let's see our output is getting or not. So now you can see that our applications will be run. So here I will clicking on retrieve, and in this username I will entering the name of username, which is Android, and after entering Android I will clicking on retrieve. So here you can see our data should be fetched successfully. First name is Android, last name Mastermind, address and code. So here one more data I think I have to fetch, which is Mastermind. So here Mastermind and retrieve. So yeah, you can see that our Mastermind data is also getted successfully. So if you like our video, please subscribe to my channel.